Gang, it's your girl Chess Angel, and I'm back with another video. So this time I'm gonna touch on the Nigerian visa video. I got so many questions and comments and feedback, which was great. And I know a lot of people want to know about how to get a Nigerian visa. It's such a hard process, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one who, well, I'm not glad I wasn't the only one, but I knew that I was not the only one that had trouble with this. So that's why I wanted to make the video. And it did really good. So I wanted to make a part 2 because there was a lot of questions in the comments. Also, if you haven't watched the first video, it's called How to Get a Nigerian Visa. Go and watch that. I give a lot of information in that video, so I'm piggybacking off of that video, so go check that out. So I said I would make a video. I know it's been like 6 months since I made that video. And I'm also coming up on 1 year of when I did go. I went in February, so I'm coming up on a year of when I did go to Nigeria. So I was like, let me go ahead and make this part 2, just answering questions that I saw in the comments. I also had people emailing me, DMing me, asking me stuff. So I really want to help everyone as much as I can. I can't literally get you a visa. That I want to make that clear. Like, I can't get anyone a visa. I could just help you through the process, because it's very complicated and I've been through it, so I can help people with what I've been through. And I went back and did some research and looked at some stuff that I had, so I can go through that. So let's get right into it. And I wrote notes again, so if you see me looking down, don't mind me. I'm just looking at my notes. So first of all, I just wanted to say, again, I am Nigerian, Yoruba. My family is from Lagos. I did go to Lagos in February of last year. That was my first time going to Nigeria. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And I will be back. We were supposed to go back a year later, which would be February. But due to the virus, we are not going to go, which I'm sad about. But hopefully, I want to say towards the spring or summer, I'll get to go. Hopefully, everything with COVID will be died down. And obviously, COVID is going to make the process much harder right now. I'm not sure what they're doing, but from the US going to Nigeria, you may be on a quarantine, may or may not. I'm not sure. If you are, it's going to be a 14-day quarantine, or you may be required to have a positive test to get in. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing this fresh, this is your first time, keep that in mind. COVID has now added another level to all the craziness, and that's anywhere you're going, but specific for Nigeria, you probably will be quarantined, or you would be required to have not a positive test, but a negative test, a negative COVID test. So let's get into everything. So I had the question of, how do you actually fill out an application? And do you have to print it out, or do you go online? And the answer is, you go online. The website is oisservices.com. Now, you have to apply through OIS, whichever location is closest to you. The location that was closest to me is Atlanta. I'm from the Carolinas, so Atlanta is the closest location to me. So that is the location I applied to. Since it was my first time, I had to go to that location, but I was able to apply online. There were 3 of us that needed visas. We were able to all do our applications online, and then we were able to pay. After you complete your application, you can pay online as well. And you can print out your application and sign it and bring it with you. You should do that. So if they give you an option to download it and print it and submit it online, but also bring it with you. Bring that application with you. Please bring it with you. When you go on iOS services, I just went on there today just to refresh. They've really changed the website and updated it. It's much more easy to navigate. It's a lot better than when I was looking in February. I don't know if they got feedback, but if you know that that website was very unorganized and you could not get any type of, it was really hard to navigate. Now, if you go on there, like it literally lays everything out for you. It lays checklists out for you, what each visa is, everything. It's much more, you can navigate it easily. So the next question was how to pay, which I just said you pay online with a card. You cannot pay with cash. I don't think you can pay with cash. I specifically saw on there cash payments would not be accepted. So once you complete your application online, it would say payment or something, and you would just type in your Visa card or whatever credit card you have information in there, and you would pay online. And just make sure you print like a receipt or a confirmation just in case, because once you get there, you don't want any trouble. And this is all if you're doing it for the first time. If you're doing it for the first time, you have to go there again because you have to get your biometrics done. That was another question. Fingerprints. So if you're going for the first time, you have to get biometrics. I talked about this in the other video, I believe. So also the next question was fingerprints. So yes, if this is your first time, you have to do biometrics. We had to drive 3.5 hours to Atlanta to do our fingerprints and get our biometrics. They get your height, your weight, whatever your but fingerprints, that's the main thing. Once you do that one time, you never have to go back. So if I wanted to apply for a visa again, I don't have to go back. I could do everything online. But this is for first time people. If it's your first time, you have to go to an iOS, whichever is closest to you, and give your fingerprints. I know there's iOS in DC and out on the West Coast in Atlanta. I'm not sure of any other ones. I think in Texas too. But I just know of Atlanta and DC because I'm on the East Coast. So that answers that question. The next question was the letter of invitation. Did it have to be an original, or could you copy it and email it? Yes, you can copy it and email it. When I went, I did not have well, no, we had a letter that my uncle, which was who invited us to come, he wrote the letter. Well, he typed the letter and sent it to us. So there's no way to know if it's an original. So that's totally fine. I don't think it would be a problem. But just if you're going in there, have a printed copy of everything. If this is your first time, have a printed copy. I can't stress that enough. Have a copy of everything. Okay, so the next question that I got was, also, they do have an email. So when you get there, if you forgot anything, they were nice. The lady was nice enough to let me leave and get a few things and then email it to her. The email, I have the email. I put it in the link. They have an email that you can email that goes directly to them. But I would suggest that you have already talked to them and they know that you're sending that to them, and then email it to them. So just to add on to that. Right, so I had a question if my passport was multiple or single entry. So me personally, my passport was a visitor visa, multiple entry. I'm going to double check. I'm looking at it right now, y'all. So it is a visitor visa with multiple entries. It is good for 2 years. So I have until February of 2021 to travel to Nigeria without any problem. So that takes me into all the different types of visas. People were asking me what visitor and tourist visa. So the difference between a visitor visa and a tourist visa. A tourist visa, if you are going to just travel the country, if you don't have an invitation letter, if you don't have a family member, if you don't have somebody that can write a letter for you to come, then you would be applying for a tourist visa. That's like just a regular person just going to visit. You just want to travel and see Nigeria. That would be a tourist visa. A visitor visa, you have to have a letter of invitation with a copy of the person that is inviting you. You have to have a copy of their passport. And my uncle was the person that invited us. He wrote the invitation letter, and we got a copy of his passport, and we had all of that with us when we went to OIS. And if you do not have that, you cannot get a visitor visa. You cannot get a visitor visa. I'm not sure. I'm sure that tourist visa is not multiple entries. I'm pretty sure. Visitor visa, I have multiple entries. I can come and go for 2 years as much as I want now. So I did have a question about visa upon arrival. I don't know much about the visa upon arrival. I think one of my family members did it and it worked, but I would not suggest doing that. I just feel like there could be a chance you would get denied. So I did find a website called portal.immigration.gov, and it gives you all the information about a visa upon arrival and everything you would need to know. I'll put that below as well if you're interested in that. I would not want to like bank on getting a visa upon arrival, and once you get to the airport in Nigeria, they deny you, or you don't have the right paperwork or anything, and then you're stuck. I personally wouldn't, but I understand everyone's situation is different. So I would highly suggest you go to that website and you read it and you see if that's what's best for you. If it is, then it is. I've heard it worked for one person, so it could work for you. Question about how to make an appointment with the OIS. So calling, if you know, calling, you're not gonna get through. I got through maybe like one time and I got hung up on. I got through another time and I got fussed at. So calling is probably not gonna work. I would say, and I went on there today. Once you go to the visa section, it gives you a link to appointment booking. You click on that, and that's how you make your appointment. And you can make your appointment anytime. I would make it as soon as possible. You can do everything online. Do everything you can online and make your appointment. If you're traveling, like I said last time, I would do it 2 months in advance. On the website, it says it takes 10 business days to get your visa back. Now that's banking on if you are not living near where your iOS center is, you have to have it mailed to you. You have to bring an envelope and have it mailed to you. So that's an extra couple of days as well. If you live near your iOS center, you can just go pick it up. So yeah, okay, we'll come back in 10 days, but that's 10 business days. That doesn't include weekends. It doesn't include holidays. And honestly, 10 business days, I would say 15 business days. Add on an extra week to it, honestly. So I would say if you're traveling, get this done, get this started 2 months before. Like I said, when we went, we only had 1 month to get everything done. We literally got our passport the day before. We got our visas the day before we were traveling. We almost could not go. So it was very, very stressful. But you can make your appointment on the iOS website as well. Everything is on there. You do everything on there. So it's very, very easy. So I got another question about the cost. It is well, I paid $160 for my visa. My visa was $160. That is just the visa. There's other fees involved. There's other costs involved. You have to get passport photos. You have to get copies. You have to get the envelope. You have to get documents. If you don't have documents, you're gonna have to pay to get those documents. I had lost my social security card, so I had to pay to get a new one. I lost there's a lot of costs traveling to the iOS Center, vaccines, which we'll get into. That was a question. All of that. There's all of those costs involved. So I would say put aside like $300 for this visa process. If this is your first time, put aside $300 for miscellaneous things, and maybe even more. But yeah, I would say that. But to start off, your visa is $160 on the website. I'm sure it was taxes added on once you finally paid, but that is the cost of the visa. Brings me to vaccines. So yellow fever is required. It was very hard to find somewhere that would give yellow fever shots. They were like out everywhere that was close to us. So we did have to travel 2 hours. We went to Clemson. If you're familiar with Clemson University, we got our shots, our yellow fever shots done there. The shot was $231. It is very expensive. A lot of insurances do not cover it. That's just the way it is. I think they make it hard so you cannot go. Like I don't know why it's so expensive and why insurances don't cover it. But it was $231 to get that shot. It was quick. It's one shot. I think it was a little cheaper for my son, because it was a lower dose, of course, because he's a minor. But it's very expensive. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to go recheck my papers because I was getting confused. It's so much. But so as far as the vaccines, so yellow fever is required, and I did get yellow fever. We did have to travel to Clemson University to get yellow fever. That was the closest place we could find it. Clemson is like 2.5 hours from us as well. So we had to drive there. We got our yellow fever done there, which is a one shot and you get it done. We got typhoid pills, though you don't have to get typhoid, but we chose to get typhoid. That we got the pills, and we got malaria pills. And what they did was just call the pill prescription into our local pharmacy, and we were able to get those pills, because you have to start the malaria pills a couple of days before you leave, and even when you come back, you're still taking those. The typhoid pills, they have typhoid shot, but it was a cheaper option to get the pills, because everything come out to be $231, and that is not cheap for vaccines. And I also had to get a touch up on my Tdap. I had to do that before I left. Also my hepatitis A, I had to get that done, which really hurt. So if you don't have that, or if you have that when you're a baby, but you have to get another dose at a certain age, in which I had never gotten. And also I'm due to get, I think 6 months after, you have to get another one. So I'm supposed to get another one for that Hep A. But if y'all want me to go into all the vaccines in another video, which I will, I'm actually just going to break everything down into different videos because it's so much. So like I'm going to do the application, the interview, the price, the vaccine, travel. Like I'm going to break each thing down. So y'all like drop it below. Like how do y'all want me to do it to make it like make sense? It's such a complicated process. I hope that I answer a lot of y'all's questions. Also, I made a mistake. Well, I didn't make a mistake. The visa was 160, but when I got there, I had to pay $20 extra for processing fee or something like that. So each of us had to pay $20. So it came out to be 180 when we left. So I paid 160 online, and when I got there, I had to pay an extra $20. So I just want to make sure I made that clear. But yes, so I hope anyone that's traveling to Nigeria, you have safe journeys, and everyone a happy new year, and be safe if you are traveling. There's so much going on. I won't be traveling, which I'm sad because I want to see my family, and I just miss Lagos. It's so fun. But I will be there, God's will, spring, summer. I will be traveling there. I love it so much there. I would move there if I could. Like, I would live there part-time if I could. Like, I love it. So, yeah. And this video is for Americans traveling to Nigeria. This is for American passport holders traveling to Nigeria. Everyone that's asking me for help about Nigerian passport holders traveling to the US to get a visa, I don't know a lot about it. I've actually had people emailing me and asking me how to help them. I'm going to start doing a lot more research on it to see what has to be done, but I know it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I have friends that are trying, and it's very difficult. I think it's a lot of the same stuff needed, but it's just a lot harder to get in just because of the way the country is and politics. It's just, yeah. So I will try for you guys. I will try to research and see how I can help anyone that's trying to come. But love to everyone, and thanks for watching. If you like this, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel. I'll have more travel videos specific to Nigeria. I'm gonna show some footage of me in Nigeria as well on some other videos. And okay, I will talk to y'all later. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's free. Mwah. Yeah. You can say it. You can do it. Ah.